Okay, I need to tell you something that nobody else will. 3 months ago, one of my clients sent me a message at like 2 in the morning. She'd been creating content for like 18 months straight, following every algorithm hack, posting 5 times a week. Her writing was beautiful, her engagement was nothing. She wrote to me, I'm watching people who can barely string a sentence together, build massive audiences while I'm just shouting out into the void. What the fuck am I doing wrong? I told her something that changed everything. You ready for this? She wasn't doing anything wrong. She was just playing the wrong game entirely. She was trying to operate at a level 6 with level 2 skills, and that gap was eating her alive. Here's what nobody really tells you about content: success doesn't come from getting better at writing or thumbnails or even editing. It comes from understanding which level you're actually at and developing the exact skills that move you to the next one. I'm going to walk you through all 7 levels today. And by the end, you're going to know exactly where you're stuck and what you need to do next. Because I've seen this pattern hundreds of times now. And once you see it clearly, everything changes. Let me show you what I mean. Level 1, the information dumper. Everyone starts at level 1. I did, you probably did too, and some people never leave. Level 1 looks like this. You know something, so you write it down, blog post style. Here's how to do this thing. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Pure information delivery. No strategy behind it, no understanding of who you're even talking to or why they should care. Every tutorial you've ever read and immediately forgotten, that's level 1 content. And here's the trap that destroys talented writers and creators at this level. You can have perfect grammar, perfect prose, years of writing experience, and still get absolutely zero traction because the internet is already drowning in well-written information. There are 50 million blog posts about making sourdough bread. Yours being well-written doesn't really change anything. Nobody's sitting around and thinking, you know what the internet needs? Another well-written article about this thing that's been written about a million times. The moment that wakes you up is when you realize nobody cares how good your writing is if they never see it. When you spend 40 hours on a piece that gets 3 views and 2 of them are your mom, that pain, that's what pushes you to level 2. Ask me how I know. Level 2, the optimizer. Level 2 is when you learn that the game has rules you didn't even know existed. You start understanding that content isn't just about what you say, it's also about who actually sees it. So you get into audiences and SEO and algorithm mechanics. You discover that how to make sourdough bread gets 10 views, but the 5-minute sourdough hack that went viral on TikTok gets 10,000 or 100,000. The metrics start moving. You're split testing headlines, adding keywords, studying what performs. You feel smart now. You feel like you're finally winning. This is when most creators think they've figured it out, but I need to tell you about the trap that's waiting here. Because I fell into it myself and it took me a year to climb back out. You become addicted to the optimization game. Every single decision starts being about the algorithm. You stop writing what you actually believe in and start writing whatever gets clicks. You stop being yourself and start being whatever the data says works. I've watched brilliant creators completely lose themselves at this level. They're getting views, sure. Their dashboards look great, but they're miserable. They're writing content and creating content that they hate for an audience that doesn't really actually care about them as people. Because views isn't loyalty. Views isn't people who will buy from you. Views is just numbers on a screen that disappear the moment you stop feeding the machine. And this realization, when it hits you, changes everything. It's what creates level 3. Level 3 is the storyteller. Level 3 is where you finally understand what content is actually about. Engagement. Keeping someone's attention from the first word to the last word. Making them feel something real. You start learning real hooks, not the fake ones everyone teaches. You understand structure. You realize that every single sentence needs to earn its place or it shouldn't exist. You figure out how to make people feel smart while you're teaching them something new. A level 3 creator opens with, you know what to do. You even want to do it. But somehow you're watching this instead, rather than saying something like, hey guys, today I'm going to teach you about procrastination. You master setup, intention, and resolution. You become genuinely good at the craft of holding attention. And this is where most successful content creators live. Level 3, gets you views, it gets you engagement, it gets you growth. You can absolutely build a real following here. But level 3 is also where most creators hit a ceiling that they never really understand. Your content is entertaining, people love it, they share it, they engage with it. But when you try to sell something, when you try to convert that attention into anything beyond more attention, nothing really happens, because you've built an audience that loves your content but has no idea what you actually do or why they should care about you beyond the entertainment you provide. You're a performer without a product, an entertainer without a business model. I lived here for 2 years. I created content that got shared everywhere. It made me feel successful. It made me feel validated. And then I tried to launch something and got crickets. Complete silence. That's when I understood that I needed level 4. Level 4 is the authority. This is where everything shifts. Where you stop being just another content creator and become someone with a perspective that only you can provide. Level 4 is about positioning, about standing for something specific, about having unique frameworks and insights that belong to you. The level 4 creator doesn't just teach you how to make better YouTube videos. They teach you why viral videos actually destroy your business, or they break down the exact psychological framework behind content that converts viewers into paying customers. You're not sharing information anymore. You're not just telling stories. You challenge beliefs. You create intellectual property. You build authority. And here's what surprises most people about level 4. Your content often gets fewer views than it did at level 3, because you're not trying to appeal to everyone anymore. You're not optimizing for mass appeal. You're attracting exactly the right people. But those right people, they convert at rates that would shock you. 10 to 20 times higher than entertainment seekers ever did. I discovered this when I stopped trying to get everyone to watch my videos. I started creating content specifically for high-ticket clients who were already spending serious money on their businesses. My views went down at first. I'm not gonna lie to you, that actually hurt. It hurt a lot. It felt like I was moving backwards. But my income tripled in 6 months, because I finally understood that views don't pay bills. The right viewers pay bills. That's what positioning does. That's what authority does. But there's still a problem waiting at level 4. This brings me to level 5, the strategist. This is where content stops being marketing and becomes a business asset. At level 5, you understand that every piece of content exists inside a larger system. You're not trying to make one great video anymore. You're creating content that guides viewers through a deliberate journey from complete stranger to paying customer. This video pre-qualifies my audience. This one addresses their biggest objection. This one demonstrates my methodology. And this one naturally leads them to book a call with me. Every piece has a specific job. You're building conversion pathways, creating content architecture. This is strategic at a level most creators never even think about. And this is where something wild starts happening. You start seeing creators who charge $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 for their services, but have smaller followings than level 3 entertainers, because they're not optimizing for views anymore. They're optimizing for the exact right prospects walking through their door. Let me tell you about my most successful piece of content ever. It got like 300, 400 views. In YouTube terms, that's nothing. That's embarrassing if you're thinking about views. But it generated 6 figures in revenue for my business, because every single person who watched that video was exactly my target client. And the content systematically addressed every objection they had before they even thought to raise it. That's the power of level 5. That's what strategic content does. But here's the problem with level 5 that most people don't see coming. Creating all this strategic content takes massive amounts of time and energy. If you're doing everything yourself, you will burn out. I promise you that. I've seen it happen over and over, which is why level 6 exists. Level 6, the multi-format master. This is where you stop being a writer, content creator, and become a content architect. Level 6 means mastering multiple formats, understanding exactly how they work together in a system. YouTube scripts that drive newsletter signups, newsletters that generate revenue and feed insights back into your YouTube strategy, podcasts that create Twitter threads that create YouTube videos that create client conversations. You're not creating individual pieces of content anymore. You're building content machines. The level 6 creator can write a 10-minute YouTube script that works because they understand the specific retention mechanics of that platform. Then they take that same core insight and adapt it into a newsletter that opens at 40% or higher. Different formats, completely different rules, but the same strategic foundation underneath. This is where I am right now. I can write YouTube scripts for entertainment channels, educational content, conversion focused authority pieces. I can turn any of that into newsletters, Twitter threads, long form articles. Each format has its own best practices, its own mechanics, but they all serve the same strategic purpose. And when you master level 6, something incredible happens. You can scale your content production without sacrificing quality or losing your strategy. You can create more while doing less yourself. But there's one final level, the one that most creators will never reach. Level 7, the system builder. This is where you build content empires that don't need you anymore. Level 7 means creating systems and frameworks that other people can execute while maintaining your vision and quality standards. You're not the creator at this point. You're the architect, the brand builder, the strategic mind behind everything. Think about Mr. Beast. He doesn't write every single video. Think about MKBHD. They've systemized their content strategy so completely that teams can execute their vision without them being involved in every single decision. The level 7 creator has documented their frameworks, trained their teams, built processes that maintain quality and strategy at scale. They've moved from doing the work to designing the system that does the work. Most creators will never reach level 7. Most don't need to. But they're not reaching it because they're still back at level 2, trying to optimize headlines, while level 7 creators are building content studios and media companies. And that's what I wanted you to see today. That's the progression that most people never understand. Look, I started this video talking about that client who messaged me at 2 in the morning. You want to know what happened to her? She was stuck at level 3. Amazing storyteller, great engagement, but zero conversions. Once she understood that she needed to move to level 4 and start positioning herself as an authority instead of just an entertainer, everything changed. It took her 3 months. She's now charging $5,000 per client and has a waiting list. Not because she got better at writing, but because she understood which level she was actually at and what skills she needed to develop next. So here's what I need you to do right now. Be completely honest with yourself. Which level are you actually at? Not where you want to be, not where you think you should be. Where are you actually operating right now? Look at your last 10 pieces of content and tell yourself the truth. Because once you know where you are, you know exactly what to focus on next. But here's the thing that most people miss. And this is what separates creators who understand the levels from creators who actually make money at the higher levels. Understanding that you're at level 3 and need to move on to level 4, that's one thing. Actually writing scripts that position you as an authority instead of just entertaining people, that's completely different. Most creators at level 3 or 4 are still writing scripts that teach people everything. Complete tutorials, full systems, everything someone would need to do it themselves. And then they wonder why nobody's buying. Because you just talked yourself out of a sale. I've got a client right now doing over $650,000 a month. Same topics as everyone else in his space. Similar view counts, but completely different bank accounts. The only difference is how his scripts are written. Strategic scripts that position him as the expert people need, rather than tutorials that teach people how to do it themselves. 390 subscribers on my own channel. 6 of them became clients paying $5,000 to $15,000 a month. I've never ran an ad, never sent a cold email, just strategic scripts. So if you want to understand exactly how strategic scripts work, why they convert while regular scripts don't, and what the 3 mistakes are that kill conversions in basically every business owner's content, I made a full breakdown of my entire system. I'll link it right here. I'm going to show you the exact difference between scripts that get views and scripts that generate revenue. How scripts and emails work together to turn viewers into paying clients. The complete system that took me 3 years and over 6,000, 7,000 scripts at this point to figure out. Go watch that video right now. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.